Thinking about retirement? Well, think about this. According to the Social Security Administration, the average monthly government benefit for a retired worker is $1,369. Can you live your retirement dream on less than $1,300 a month? Well, most of us can't. That's why so many people trust financial engines to help them plan for a retirement that they can look forward to. Our one-on-one approach means that we'll talk with you, not at you. If you already have a retirement plan, we can help make sure it's the right one for your situation. And if you don't, well, we'll work together to start one, and we'll be there to help keep it on track. Don't rely on just Social Security for your financial future. Get a personalized retirement plan working for you today. Go to financialengines.com and schedule an appointment with your local Financial Engines advisor. That's financialengines.com.
This is John Sayers with Financial Engines in Fresno and Visalia. Let's talk about the financial goals that are important to you, and together we'll develop a plan to help make them happen. Call me at 559-434-9800 or visit financialengines.com.
From AM 1680, The Answer, this is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza, the behind-the-scenes story of the business shakers and movers in the Valley and beyond. And now, here's your host, Lance Cardoza.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in again here on Business Leaders Live on AM 1680, The Answer. Every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., we go live with a different business leader throughout the Valley and all over the country, and we're talking about business and what it takes to be a leader in business every day. And that's sometimes just stepping out and starting something new or thinking about starting something new. You're already a business leader. You're leading to change a culture in your life and also change a culture for many people hopefully you'll employ. And this gentleman on the show today has certainly done that. They started humbly in the beginning with his passion. They had passion about craft brewing, and they have even a deeper story than that. But I have the president of Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company, Michael Cruz, on the show. Michael, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And a good friend of Business Street and Lance Cardoza. I've followed you guys from the beginning. And talk a little bit about Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company. How did it get its start? How did you get interested in this, and where we are today?
So Tioga Sequoia started in 2007, so 10 years, a little over 10 years ago. And I rolled into this straight out of college. Been into craft beer literally as soon as I could legally drink it. Yeah. And the brewery was actually founded with a co-op with Sequoia Brewing Company locally in 2007.
Because they've been around for
they've been
almost
around
20 years, right?
Oh yeah, for a long time. Yeah. That's where Kevin Cox, our brewmaster, actually came from as well. So in the beginning, our brewery didn't have an actual physical brewery. We contracted with Sequoia to create a couple brands and recipes to make that for us.
You contracted with Sequoia?
Sequoia, yeah, the local brew pub.
Yeah,
okay. That's been around they were Butterfields at one point.
They have one in the tower. And,
one up the street here.
Yeah, okay.
So, and that's how we started. We went to them and had them create a few things for us that we took to market and other bigger contract breweries to bottle and package and test the market 10 years ago when craft beer was still very, still underdeveloped, and especially in the Valley, it really wasn't anything. There wasn't any breweries distributing and going into supermarkets and your local bars and pubs. They were only really brew pubs like Sequoia that are just come to me. This one location. It was a specialty
niche place.
Exactly. Yeah. No one was getting out in the community and doing things like the way we wanted to do it. So in a way, we were kind of the pioneers in the Valley to go out and do that. And it took a few years. In 2010, we settled on a place in downtown Fresno, with the goal to obviously revitalize, help aid to the revitalization of downtown and our city.
And so, just in case you haven't been there, and everybody that I know knows about where Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company's beer garden is directly behind Chichancy Park.
Yes,
right out the back gates. And so, you choose that spot, but was it you and your leadership, Kevin, that decided you wanted to do that? I know Mayor Swearingen, past mayor of Fresno, she played a role in talking to you.
She did. It was a couple of things. I mean, initially we were just looking for an ideal location to put in this type of production facility. Yeah. With drains and certain there's certain elements that would have made it cheaper to move in.
Yeah.
And this spot just came up, and we actually looked at it. The current spot we're in with our production facility, we looked at it, and we thought it was going to be too small for some of the sized equipment, and we passed on it and started looking other places, not in downtown necessarily. And we started thinking about it, and our we also wanted an identity of where we actually planted our flag, and we went back to it, and we're like, you know what, if we move this way and we fit this way, we can make this work, and we can actually build in a place where we can make a statement, and it's obviously an ideal location where it is now. But when we started, it was just one 3,500 square foot building.
Yeah.
And now we not only have expanded across the building, but we also have last year we acquired a 14,000 square foot building that's connected to the current brewery.
The former AmVet
the former
building.
AmVet, yeah.
Right,
and then
there,
we also in 2012 took on the beer garden that's behind us in the alley. So it's all one block, all somewhat connected.
Yeah.
Now we have I want to say 50,000 square feet of tasting room, production, everything in the span of about 8 years.
And going through some remodeling and getting ready for some bunch of new things that are coming with Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company.
Yeah, we're excited. 10 years in craft beer years is actually a long time, but for most businesses, it's not.
Is it like dog years?
It is for a craft brewery. It is. We're heading to adult stage. For someone like Sierra Nevada out of Chico. They've been around for like 37 years, and they're like, they're old. They are the seniority or the a lot of brewers aspire to be what they have created, and it's great, and it's a community, not only statewide, internationally, even brewers from different countries helping out brewers in the States and different cities, but even
it's
more
like a
so,
culture. It's
it
a
is,
culture
it is.
amongst the brewers, I notice, and amongst the people like yourself that are planning to market it, to take it to the next level. It's becoming a big phenomenon in your industry.
And especially I want to go to even the local community too. And that's really, there's ideas and there's, sharing of hurdles and things that most breweries have to go through, but really a lot of it's brought locally. And craft beer is more about culture in your region, in your town, in your, what you're about and what your community,
a reflection of your community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that even more so plays the biggest role in most craft breweries and how they develop. And we're going to see that more. We're already seeing it more. Breweries aren't really looking to be national brands anymore. They're looking to be more community brands that identify more with the people in the region. And that's been our focus actually since the beginning. I mean, obviously, it'd be great to see someone drinking our beer in New York or somewhere across the country. But really, our brand is local, and that's what we've been doing since the beginning, promoting that identity.
Do you find the big companies out there, the big brewers out there, are wanting and acquiring companies like yourself at a certain age when you grow, trying to do that and keeping it regionally, or they're trying to take it nationally?
Usually that is the case with someone like an Anheuser-Busch or Miller Coors. Usually when they acquire breweries, it's because of a brand. Not only do they want to have a piece of that local brand, in their region, but also too, they may have that brand stretch out further than what they maybe could without that resource of Anheuser-Busch behind them, taking them, whether it be in a different country or different parts of our country. And I think that's usually the goal is, well, they get with Anheuser-Busch or whoever buys them out, they now have a better ability to get their beer further and create more of it.
And I'm sure those guys come and knocking at the decade mark, and
well, they haven't been knocking at our door yet. But
that's good. We want you to stay.
Yeah, and things do change when that happens, and I think they're obviously very selective, and in a way, it's kind of most breweries that have sold out to these big breweries, I mean it's a give and take. That's the goal. Your brand is so strong and so popular that someone wants to pay you for it, and that's what a lot of, I think, most business owners aspire to. But in craft beer, it's kind of hit or miss. It really depends on
how deep your culture is,
exactly,
too, because that changes the culture.
It's a part of you.
company.
It's like selling a part of you. It's your identity in that brand. So not all are willing to sell. But then again, too, some people are, money talks, and you never know. You can't say never, I guess. But I don't think our brewery is not interested in any of that, unfortunately. But you never know.
We're going to take a short break just here in a little bit, but I wanted to talk to you about also, as you came downtown, and that's why I support this industry. You go into like cities like Sacramento, they could have 30, 40 breweries. We have 6, 8 breweries. The potential growth of employees and creating jobs is very powerful for this industry.
It really is. It's huge. From what we hear in our when we go to conferences and we go to these regional or national craft beer conventions, they talk about really, any real town or city eventually could somewhat support a brewery. In some place like Fresno with over 500,000 people, we could easily have 20, 30, 40 breweries here and still everyone be relatively successful and not stepping on each other, depending on where they place them and their unique identity. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for joining us here with Business Leaders Live. We've got a lot more to talk to Michael Cruz about. We're going to talk about his passion, how he got started out of college into this industry, and what led to that. We'll be back here shortly on Business Leaders Live. You can check out all past episodes at lancecardoza.com. We'll be right back here on AM 1680, The Answer.
Founded in 1944, Demera Cameron is one of the largest and most successful public accounting firms in Central California. Our well-educated and highly motivated certified public accountants and staff are your true business team members and advisors. We provide exceptional auditing, income tax planning and compliance, estate planning, business and management consulting, computer system design, litigation support, and bookkeeping services. At Demera Cameron, we not only work with numbers, we work with people. We're someone whose business is crunching numbers and staying on top of tax laws for both individuals and businesses. We'll help you manage your finances so you can focus on what you do best. No matter what your accounting needs may be, wanting to start a business, discuss the latest computer software, or take advantage of the latest income tax and estate planning strategies, Demera Cameron welcomes your call at 559-226-9200. If you're seeking experienced professionals who provide exceptional accounting services, then it's time to add Demera Cameron to your team. Call us at 559-226-9200.
This is Lance Cardoza. I'm hosting a brand new show here on AM 1680, The Answer. It's called Business Leaders. Every week, we'll be talking to a new business leader. It could be someone close to home or someone on a national or international stage. But each one has a story that we want to tell, like how they got started, what makes them tick, and tips and tricks you can use to stay motivated and be successful. Join me, Lance Cardoza, every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Business Leaders here on AM 1680, The Answer.
This is Dennis Prager for 1680 The Answer. If you care about your country and your community, support The Answer by becoming a sponsor of the Dennis Prager Show. It's easier than you think, and you'll be reaching people like you, folks who care deeply about freedom and faith. Help keep the light of truth burning bright. Your neighbors are counting on you. To become a valued sponsor, call 559-233-8803. That's 559-233-8803. One more time, 559-233-8803.
Hello, baby. By popular demand, Dick Delgado's Rhythm Roundup Oldies Show is moving to Sundays from 3 to 5 p.m. All your favorites from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. 2 full hours of the perfect cruising music to wrap up your weekend with the legendary Richard the Lion, Dick Delgado. So grab your hula hoop and slick back your hair for this sentimental trip through the valley. The Rhythm Roundup with Dick Delgado. Sundays 3 to 5 on AM 1680, The Answer.
This is Jim Franklin. When I was growing up, I would love to stay with my grandparents. I'd love to wake up in the morning to the sound of my grandma in the kitchen cooking breakfast and the smell of bacon frying in the pan. Then I'd hear her say, "Come and get it." There on the table would be eggs, bacon, sausage, fried potatoes, and all the biscuits and gravy. By the time you got up from the table, you knew that you had had breakfast. Now, if that brings back memories, or more important, triggers your taste buds, those days are not gone, because that's the type of home cooking you'll find at your local Huckleberry's restaurant here in Fresno. Visit Huckleberry's for great breakfast and lunch meals, reasonably priced. Let me recommend two great locations, Huckleberry's at Bullard and 41 and Huckleberry's at Champlain and Parent. They have plenty of friendly servers ready to help you get in and out fast if you've got limited time, or to serve your every need if you want a long, leisurely meal. That's Huckleberry's at Bullard and 41 or Champlain and Parent. Don't forget to try their Huckleberry sauce. Tell them I sent you.
Jimmy John's, freaky fast, freaky fresh.
I'm calling because I saw one of your delivery persons today, and he was totally naked.
Ma'am, I sincerely want to apologize for any...
Buck naked right there on the street.
Ma'am, we're doing all we can to...
And I say it's about darn time.
I know, and I'm gonna... Wait, what?
The human body is a beautiful thing, don't you agree?
Well,
We've suffered the tyranny of clothing for way too long.
Okay, but...
So thanks, Jimmy John's, for going all natural.
Actually, ma'am, it's our meats that are all natural.
Say what now?
Our meats are all natural. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
So I don't suppose I can expect all natural delivery in the future?
No.
Darn.
Giving you the inside story of business leaders in the Valley and beyond. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Welcome back, everybody. Again, before we went to the commercial break, if you want to catch any past episode of any of the business leaders we've had, you can go to lancecardoza.com. That's LanceCardoza.com. Also, you can tell anybody, Uncle Johnny back east, you can tell anybody across the country they can listen to the radio show live by going to my1680.com and click in the upper right-hand corner, and you can listen to any of the shows right here on AM 1680, The Answer. In studio with Business Leaders Live, I have the president of Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company, Michael Cruz. We were talking about Tioga Sequoia, planting your roots in downtown Fresno and growing to where you are today and adding on to the building and the brewery and creating some new experiences that you'll have at the brewing, at the beer garden.
Yeah.
And also you've added probably employees. We've talked about that.
Yeah. So we started with basically me and Kevin, and we're up to 26 employees now.
Nice.
So I think 18 full-time employees.
What type of positions? So you got people that are brewers?
We have about 4 departments. We have production, which are brewers and packaging. Then we have our beer garden side, which is probably, I believe, the most employees. And then we have our sales side, to handle outside sales, dealing with our distributors and how our beer gets to market. And then our admin side, which would be like myself and, graphic artist and office manager type stuff.
Pull it all together.
Yeah.
So before we went to the break, we talked about also your passion. You, right out of college, you stepped into this and you were doing this, but you had a passion and you still do today. And I think that's really lends to why Tioga Sequoia has had this success in this first decade. But you have a passion for craft beer, and
it is. So there's different levels of craft beer. There's for the most part, the overall craft beer community. There's certain styles that are very popular, like IPAs and wheat beers and stouts and things like that. And then you get into the beer geek level of stuff that starts to get into barrel aged and spontaneous fermentation and playing with exotic yeast strains and other exotic ingredients. And those are very limited. There's not a lot of bigger breweries doing those types of things. And, I travel all over the country, even internationally sometimes for beer. I like to go to smaller boutique breweries and try things that are new or something you can't get on the shelf of a supermarket, and bring those ideas and things that I like and that I would get excited about, and I try and integrate that into what we do at Tioga, at least on a smaller level, because I don't think those things could ever be taken on a big mass-produced level, on our pilot level or one-off type beers that we do for creativity and fun.
Yeah.
So I do that. It's like a hobby I've been doing for almost 10 years now.
Like a wine enthusiast.
Exactly.
You have your collection of...
and the rule of thumb is if I can get excited about it, I think most people could too. And the challenge would be sometimes trying to relate my passion on the level I have to the general, beer consumer that may not understand what that is or get the relevance or have tasted that before.
What was it that was the sort of the light bulb for you in college? Was it something that you had a passion to be a brewer, or was it just being in college?
It's getting into tasting different things in college that I didn't that I just never had. It was only a couple real years of really starting to get into things, but.
And really, like you said, it was full circle here locally. Did you go to college locally here?
Yeah, Fresno State. Yeah, Craig School of Business. So
Craig School of Business. So you see full circle, and then you see it starting to populate, but it wasn't really probably on fire like it is today.
No, definitely not. Like I said, it was more on a brew pub level. I mean, locally there was Sequoia and Full Circle, and in Visalia there's Brew Bakers. That in the valley, that was really it. And they were more on a brew pub mentality, where it's just their beer just for their place. You wouldn't see it at a supermarket or a local bar or anything like that. And the family that I run the business for is hired me straight out of college. And from there, basically they said, we don't know what we're doing. This is something we want to do. We want to invest in. It seems like there's a lot of community and following outside this area, that there's some potential. So they put me and Kevin together, and that's basically how it started. My end with the business side and just being more of an enthusiast and knowing what how I want to get this beer to market, how I want to present it, how I want how I want people to experience it. And Kevin's been brewing for almost 30 years now, so he actually was involved with Butterfields. He was the brewmaster there, and
Butterfields was downtown Fresno at one time.
One of the original kind of breweries that are doing what we're doing today. They could have been us if they had if succeeded, and that would have been the Tioga Sequoia. It would have been Butterfields.
And their story,
this is a similar story as far as what they were trying to do and their brands and stuff like that. But so I mean, having that lineage there with Kevin, I think it still helps us today, and a lot of people, a lot of brewers and home brewers, and just the general brewing community respect Kevin, and I think that's helped a lot too, having his oversight and his passion for what he does. I mean, you got to have both ends. It's not just about branding and marketing. The beer has to be quality. It has to be consistent, and he's obviously brought that to the table as well.
So. And now I'm sure there's beer. I hear a beer U, and there's different things where you can go get educated to be in this industry, to be a brewer or to work. But in your day, there probably wasn't. So was this passionate? I mean, how do you go to school to be in this business?
So more, I think more recently there's been actual certified schools like UC Davis has a brewmaster program or master brewer program. Siebel was one that's been around for at least 10 years. I know because it was around right when I started getting into the industry. But that's it. Like as far as nationally known, credentialed to actually brew like professionally. That was it. There's obviously other types of things that are around now that are general knowledge or things like that, but that was it. So if you wanted to be a professional brewer and get a degree, that's where you had to go.
To do that.
Davis or Siebel, But Kevin just started homebrewing. 30-something years ago and started winning competitions, and he just fell into it. Back then there wasn't a lot of opportunities, and if you were good, you didn't have to have 30 years ago you didn't have to have credentials really. You just had to be able to make good beer.
And social credentials. You probably went and talked to the right people, did like you did, went around and visited his favorite places and learned what he liked, didn't like, and got creative. So I think the combination of me and him, I think, have played really well. And I think he's, if I have an idea of something that I think we should do, I just explain it to him. I tell him these ingredients, and he figures out how to make it, puts it together.
Exactly. And that's a beautiful relationship because I know what'll sell. I know what I think people will want to, and he knows how to make it happen. So
it's an amazing place down there. If you've never been to it, it's right outside Chachansee Park on the back gates there. Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company's beer garden, and also the production line, the offices, everything is right there. and several events they have at the Beer Garden throughout the year. Rush Day, we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll talk about the Frez. Yes. One of my favorites, Lucha de Mayo on May 5th. We have all sorts of fun stuff that Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company is doing right downtown. We'll be right back.
Do you believe that kids today need a caring adult in their lives? Hi, this is Ed Kazmarek with Fresno Madera Youth for Christ. We believe kids need more than that. It takes at least 7 caring adults, a parent, a coach, a pastor, a YFC mentor, to help kids along the difficult journey of being a teenager. Life can be overwhelming. The Youth for Christ team serves at over 35 ministry sites across Fresno and Madera counties, bringing the good news of hope in Jesus Christ. Support Youth for Christ. Visit yfcnow.org today.
Race fans, the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 at Texas Motor Speedway is Sunday, April 8th. And now you can earn a free O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 commemorative hat by mail. Just pick up a rebate form at O'Reilly Auto Parts and make a purchase of $25 or more. Or buy 5 quarts of any Pennzoil motor oil. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What if hiring could be easier, less time-consuming, with more qualified candidates and faster results? What if hiring could be smarter? Thanks to ZipRecruiter, it can be. With one click, post your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, so you don't spend time wondering where the right candidates are searching. Then ZipRecruiter uses its smart matching technology to scan millions of active resumes and notify the most qualified candidates to apply for your job. And the ZipRecruiter dashboard makes it easy to review, rate, and contact candidates, all in one place. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter makes it simple for growing businesses of all sizes to hire the right people, no matter the industry. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you the results you need. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is in full swing.
All right, man. 7 ballparks in 7 days. Here we go.
I've got my maps.
You don't need them. Huh? I got a nav system. See, you can even pinch to zoom. Look at.
And with available Sync 3 and voice-activated navigation, Ford Fusion has the tech to get you there and back.
Okay, you're holding that map upside down, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I thought Indiana looked strange.
Take on summer right with Ford, America's best-selling brand, during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Get 0% financing for 72 months on select Fusion, Escape, Edge, and Explorer models. Plus, get $1,000 on top of your trade-in. Offer ends August 22nd. Best selling based on current year 2016 sales. Don't drive while distracted. Use voice-operated systems when possible. Don't use handheld devices while driving. Not all buyers qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $1,389 per month per $1,000 finance regardless of down payment. Trade Assist Cash requires trade-in of 95 or newer vehicle or lease terminated 30 days prior to or 90 days after new retail delivery. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for complete details. Take delivery from dealer stock by August 22nd, 2017.
One name, 9 locations, the lowest prices anywhere in the valley, with the highest quality furniture. It's Serrano's Furniture. The Serrano's Furniture Galleries are family-owned and operated right here in Central California for over 30 years, giving you top-name brands like Legacy, Parker House, and Klausner. The best prices on America's #1 rated mattresses like Serta, Simmons, and the iComfort Sleep System. Before you buy your furniture online, which comes to your home unassembled, visit a Serrano's Furniture Gallery near you. Serrano strives to give you exceptional customer service as well as giving you the best price and best value. Serrano's Furniture in Fresno, Visalia, Hanford, Porterville, Madera, Tulare, Bakersfield, Delano, and Dinuba. This is the big one, the largest furniture retailer in the valley, Serrano's. For monthly specials, visit serranosfurnituregalleries.com. You are listening to Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza, the behind-the-scenes story of the business shakers and movers in the valley and beyond. Once again, here's Lance Cardoza.
That entrance music just makes you want to charge a mountain. Just take that right down. Hey, so Michael Cruz, we're talking about Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company, the president here, and the Beer Garden. And when you initially started downtown and putting this together, was the Beer Garden the initial concept to sort of get your beer out to the masses?
It wasn't right away, actually.
Okay.
The first couple of years, we were focused on distribution, and from then to now, we have locally probably like 300 tap handles in our just Fresno area market, and we're in major supermarkets like Save Mart and Vons, Safeway, even some Walmarts. So that was the big goal, and I think that's what in 10 years we were able to gain some traction and get placement in those places. But the beer garden, I really believe, is what we use to grow our brand. It's hard to be relevant when only face value you just see the brand on tap, or you just see it in that those are kind of reinforces. You see it on a shelf, you see our brand on the shelf, or you see a tap. But it really wasn't until we started the beer garden in downtown Fresno that we actually started to move a lot more beer and have more requests for it. It's a branding thing. So you come to the beer garden and you experience everything we have to offer. And it's not just a tap room that we created into a beer garden. It's really a venue. It's always been that way since the beginning. And we focus on being able to appeal to all demographics.
And families and dogs. Your dog, your furry family member.
Yes.
It's and we were talking about it during the break too. That the culture, it's not just the urban following, but it's such an eclectic mix of people.
It really is.
In very safe environment and just casual conversations. And
you
not
go
the
to
old
us,
beer drinker.
on an art hop, or we have this thing called Tacos, Brews, and Jams. Just taco trucks. We get a couple live artists, local artists, and we feature a beer, or just have feature our beer, just our extensive tap list, and just you see someone. In their late 50s, you see people bringing their families, you see dogs, you see, all different cultures and races, and it's beautiful. Like I don't really see that a lot of other places, but craft beer, it really does kind of transcend demographics, which is awesome. And I think that's why we don't try just to do one thing. We don't just do beer. We don't just do, live music. We'll do, we'll feature art.
There's something for everybody.
It really is. It is, and we want to make sure you feel that way when you come to our place. And it's a pretty fairly big space as well.
Yeah.
We didn't start off with that big. We actually started off with like a small section, and we slowly grew it out as we were able to draw more people in, but
figure out what the need was and what everybody wanted.
So on Monday nights, it's probably our most coziest night of the week. And then
you were packed last night.
We were last night for
that
show at concert in downtown. But and then one night of the year we have something like Frez Yes Fest, where we draw 6,000-7,000 people downtown, and we extend to the street, and it's the whole parking lot, and it's big. So we go small to big, and it just depends on what we're trying to do and the type of event that we're throwing.
Let me ask you too, because someone could be listening from the outside and they're looking at Fresno as a canvas to paint their portrait of their future in business here, working with the city of Fresno, which is a challenge for some cities working with their local municipality. How have they been with you? Because I know they've been very supportive in the beginning.
And
everything's good.
From Ashley, when she was mayor, the whole 8 years she was very supportive in helping get things passed. I know right now, like the very first thing we had to deal with was our sign on our roof, where the current brewery is right now. There was an ordinance that you couldn't go above it could be a certain size, and you couldn't go above a certain height. And but we really wanted it there, and we wanted people to see it from the stadium. And she basically worked with the city manager and just said, "Let's just make it happen." It did.
Make some changes.
Literally happened before. I think it was 2011 Grizzly season. It went up the week before opening day, which
finally happened.
Which
and
I
remember, I'll sit up in the club, and I can see your sign down on the street down there by Pep Boys.
When they play the national anthem and they have the flag on the screen, you can see our logo in the back.
It's perfectly placed. But and I ask those questions because sometimes you're doing the same thing and looking for a different result. In downtown Fresno, they've tried so many things. They're doing the same thing, looking for a different result, and it's that sign of insanity. They just keep trying it over the years and years.
Yeah.
But we have to do things differently. And like a lot of people said, opening up Fulton Mall to Fulton Street, what happened? Nothing's happened now. Well, no, that's one step
in
everybody's part that's going to make it different. But I'll tell you this, go down there and park by 1060 Fulton, or this old Security Bank building, the Pacific Southwest building.
Yeah.
And you will see activity constantly up and down that street. People are ready.
Oh, yeah.
And it's ready to happen.
It's, when I look at, and I like to walk down Fulton Street whenever there's like something like an art hop going on, and there's all spots down Fulton Street that are activated during an art hop, and you can, I encourage people that want to see what the potential is, at least for the nightlife, for the traveling of just people walking up and down to the end to our spot, and you can see what could happen. And the only thing now is we need businesses or developers to just basically commit to opening stuff and trying things out. That's really what needs to happen, because there is that potential. We know, because we can draw people, but we're one place.
Yeah.
And there's many times where people want to do something before or after they come to our place, and there's really not much going on.
Yeah. Other than when Grizzlies or Fresno Football Club, when they get going and everything happens, that helps.
That's huge. It's huge. So then those are even busier nights.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily 365 days out of the year. But we can be with more things going on.
There's no reason for people when they come to a game that they don't come early to come by to visit the beer garden, and then after maybe have a plan to go somewhere down on Fulton Street,
definitely,
and feel safe. And the environment, it's there, it's prime right now to be able to create that. And I would like this. You would say San Jose's done it, Denver's done it, 3rd Street Promenade, Santa Monica, they've done it, and a lot of people go, yeah, but that's where it is. We have passion for what we're doing here in Fresno. I see it happening, and it's that landscape to do it affordable. You can't do it in other places or other cities like you can do it right here in Fresno. So
I couldn't agree more. Yeah,
then it's time,
and we'll help get them there.
Yep. Michael Cruz, we'll be right back. We got more to talk about with Tioga Sequoia.
This is Dennis Prager, and you know about my love for the people and the country of Israel. I have an acquaintance in the Central Valley who may well rival me in his love and commitment to Israel, while his more than 80 times in the land well outnumbers the number of my own visits. I'm speaking about retired Marine Corps Colonel John Somerville. John leads groups to Israel on a regular basis, and they are not just run-of-the-mill trips. They are certainly biblically based, but John makes sure you meet with and learn from Israeli soldiers, ambassadors, all sorts of Jews, and just plain Israeli citizens. The next 2 tours are in January and March. John has been on the station on Saturdays and Sundays with Israel in the Bullseye for many years. Call him at 559-877-2882 for the finest in travel and learning in Israel. 559-877-2882. 559-877-2882 for the finest in travel and learning in Israel.
Ag and Industrial Supply reminds everyone to please drive safely, sensibly, and defensively, especially around our parks and crosswalks. Remember, when a car hits a car, that's an accident. But when a car hits a child, that's a tragedy. This message courtesy of Ag and Industrial Supply at 1201 O Street in Firebaugh. Trust their 30 years of experience for all your Shaker parts, Honda dealer hydraulics, engines, and more. Call Ag and Industrial Supply at 559-659-3191. They're on the air because they care.
This is John Greenhut, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
Credit products are made by WebBank. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
I was making great progress on building my savings, but then I got hit with an unexpected car repair bill.
Keeping a close eye on my credit score allowed me to buy my first house, but an unexpected medical emergency set me back.
When the unexpected happened, Avant was there to help. If you need to borrow $2,000 to $35,000, try Avant. It's fast, simple, and transparent.
Everything is done online. There are no prepayment fees, and no collateral is required. And you can instantly check your rate with no impact to your credit score.
Over 500,000 customers have experienced the convenience of a loan through Avant. No wonder Avant has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And now, Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first payment is made on time. To check your rates and to get this special radio offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 8000 when applying. That's AVANT.com, promo code 8000. Go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 8000.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Termbusters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Termbusters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Giving you the inside story of business leaders in the Valley and beyond. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Welcome back, everybody, to Business Leaders. I'm sitting here with the president of Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company, Michael Cruz, and we've been talking everything about downtown Fresno, the culture of craft brewing, and what Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company is doing with the beer garden.
Yeah.
And let's we hit on some of them, but what type of events that are coming up? I know when we hit the spring, you just all sorts of fun stuff starts happening.
So
we call Frez Yes Fest the start of beer garden season, which is typically the last Saturday of March. This Saturday, or this year, it's going to be the 24th, and that is our big kind of kickoff to beer garden season. And what it is, it's an everything positive about Fresno festival with a lot of live local music. It's, our beer featured. We bring in variety of different types of food trucks and local vendors, clothing, and whatever it may be. And it started as our anniversary downtown. We called it just our 1-year anniversary before it was Frez Yes.
Yeah.
And it was the first time we ever did anything big, and we got like 1,200 people in 2012. And we partnered with Mike Oz, and he promoted it on his radio station. And he was part of the promoter getting the music and the food at the time.
Yeah.
And then the following year, we're like, this thing is bigger than us. We need to kind of rebrand it and make this thing a bigger celebration about Fresno and have it downtown and focus on local and just positive things.
Yeah.
And so we changed it to Frez Yes Fest.
Yeah.
So that is the big thing we do, and that draws thousands of people downtown. It's a free event, all ages, all day on Saturday.
And that's what led to me. We were briefly touching on that before the break about opening up the streets, because you opened up one street, now 2 streets. It's like you're expanding the walls, and you have to work with the city to make that all happen. And they're very
they've been, and
the
the downtown partnership's been amazing in helping coordinate and be liaisons with the city for the stuff that we've been doing. But yeah, we have. So that's a big one. We have some Beer Geek related ones where we do these beer releases that we get like a couple hundred people lined up before we open to get these really limited things that we release a couple times a year. One's called Rush Day. It's a coffee celebration of coffee beer and
so it's
barrel
like
aged.
Coffee is
infused into the beers. Yeah, different variety. We're doing the Lucha de Mayo thing on Cinco de Mayo, which is pretty big. It's extreme wrestling and
Lucha Extreme,
taco
which I'm
trucks
personally involved with.
It's fun. It's fun stuff, and I think that's the dynamic of the things that we do, from art shows to music festivals to we've also had MMA fighting, cage fighting in the back of our parking lot too. We've had A lot of different things. And
I've seen where you have, like you talk about artists too. You'll have an art
shows,
and it'll be around a genre like Star Wars, and you had one around.
We had Tim Burton which is awesome.
Was incredible.
Yeah, that's coming back this year.
Really like that.
Yeah, so we've also made friends with a group called Fresno Underground Art, and they're the ones that bring those themes. We've also done different artists. We've had a lot of different things, and there's nothing really off the table. I mean, as long as we can get people excited about it, we don't want to isolate one demographic. It's come one, come all type of thing. So
if someone hasn't ever been down there or ever tried craft beer, maybe has tried the run-of-the-mill major corporations beer, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just beer.
Yeah.
But they want to try something different and experience something different. What would you say to them? What's the first step?
For me, I think we get a lot of that, and that's when we put on bigger events. We typically get questions like, "What's your lightest beer? What's your closest beer that tastes like Bud Light or Blue Moon or something that's mass distributed that everyone would know?" And so we get a lot of that. And I think for me, with those new beer drinkers or craft beer drinkers, we would start them with something less aggressive, like our 99 Golden Ale, which is it's a step up from a Budweiser or a Bud Light. It's only little over 4%. Mostly malt forward, very light, clean, dry, simple, easy to drink. Yeah. And then we maybe also move up to our Half Dome, which is one of our new flagship beers that we created last year with the Fresno Farm Bureau. And it's a wheat beer, but similar to something like, say, a Blue Moon or a Shock Top. In that style, we go for the more juicy side without using citrus. We use fruit and stone fruit from Wawona. More local, yeah. So it's a different take. Instead of that kind of drier, citrusy flavor, we go for more of the juicy fruit side and this wheat style that it outsells anything we sell at our beer garden 2-1 right now. Yeah. It's huge, and it's been a big brand for us this year.
So when you and Kevin first got together, the brewmaster, a couple minutes left here, and then we got one more segment at the end, real short. Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company, how did that come to flourish? Like, how did the name?
The names, the names come from Tioga Pass in Yosemite, and obviously Sequoia trees, and Sequoia National Park. Yeah. The idea was having two names that kind of represented the regional area that we wanted our brands to reflect, and put them together. And I really liked the name, how it sounded too. It's almost like when you say things that aren't, you don't hear that very often. You know what I mean?
Two band member names you put together and it creates a band.
Exactly. It makes it sound unique, and too the names themselves individually are important and relevant to what we're doing. So, and then with that came Half Dome, our wheat beer, and General Sherman, which is our current flagship. That's our IPA. It's a big 7.5% West Coast style IPA that, if you're into IPAs, this is for most people.
Sort of represents the General Sherman
exactly.
brand.
It's grandeur and it's kind of uniqueness and fullness, and then we have 99, which is our highway that connects all the cities in the valley. That's our Golden Ale, our kind of light and refreshing, year-round, everyday drinker. So we like to base our brands off of that, and from our Art Hop series things that are working with local artists and local ingredients and ideas, to the bigger brands that we do that we put in supermarkets like the Half Domes and the General Shermans. So
good stuff. When we come back, we're going to take a short break here in a little bit. We got a little segment at the end. We're going to find out something from Michael Cruz that maybe somebody doesn't know about you. So they might meet you. They go down to the beer garden. They know about your passion. They know you're considered the prophet sometimes to craft brewers, that you have a certain passion for your industry. But when we come back, we'll have you share something that maybe someone else doesn't know about you, and maybe it might involve your passion still with craft brewing. We'll be right back with more Business Leaders Live. You can catch all past episodes at lancecardoza.com. We'll be right back.
a little smarter.
What you've been talking about rings rife through this area.
And a lot more informed.
I'm a black man in America. I'm a survivor.
It's Jim Franklin Live.
Just wanted to say I like your show, dude.
Weekday mornings at 8 on AM 1680, The Answer. Get it out your mouth. Get it off your chest.
Russian allegations. Being politically correct.
Jim Franklin Live.
Scandals over the White House.
Weekday mornings at 8 on AM 1680.
The Answer.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.125%, APR 4.36%. But choosing the right mortgage lender involves so much more than just a rate. Only Quicken Loans has earned 12 J.D. Power Awards. No other lender comes close to that level of client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage. It gives our clients a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online in minutes. No one else has anything like it. And our people. Each one of our 17,000 plus team members throughout Detroit, Cleveland, and Phoenix provides absolute client satisfaction each and every day. So why would you go anywhere else to get your mortgage? Go to America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
You are listening to Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza, the behind-the-scenes story of the business shakers and movers in the Valley and beyond. Once again, here's Lance Cardoza.
Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us here with Business Leaders Live with the president of Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company, Michael Cruz. Before the break, we asked you if you had something that someone doesn't know about you. And I'd like to ask this question just for the reason of it might create a connection with somebody. Come up and shake your hand and have something in common with you. What would that be that you would share?
Well, I mean, I think too, when I talk about how I got into this, a lot of people just think, well, one, they look at me and they see I'm young. I'm only 32 years old, but I've been doing it for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But it really is, I took a chance when I did this as an intern in college, my senior year, and I didn't, when I signed up for this internship to do this, I actually didn't know what I was doing. I just knew it had to do with something with sales and marketing, and I was going to take a product and kind of give some feedback and find out about it. And I almost passed it, but I, trying to do my due diligence, I wanted to find out. So I went for the interview and I found out what it was, and I loved the idea, and I was working with the owners and creating this concept of what I eventually ended up taking control of. But when I graduated, it was like I went to them and I'm just like, this. I'd love to do this. I have passion for it, and I want to do this as a full-time job. And they saw what I was able to do as an intern and the ideas I had. They're like, all right, well, we're gonna hire you just from the ground up to put this thing together. And I was hired as more like a kind of a business associate type of thing, but really nothing. I mean, literally, it was me and Kevin at the beginning, and I was challenged to work with Kevin, and we started this thing. But for me, it was taking that initiative and just tell people, like, I came from, straight out of college, and I was able to get this opportunity and grow with it and grow as it's grown and learned as we progressed and as we grew as a brewery. But I started with literally no background in it, and you don't have to taking a risk. You don't have to necessarily be an authority on it if you want to get into something that you're passionate about, because you can grow to learn and we can become successful.
If you're passionate about craft brewing, go up and shake your hand.
Exactly.
Shake Michael Cruz's hand and tell him how you love it and you want to try to figure out how to get involved with it. We'll talk to you next week.
Tune in this Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. to Frontline Radio with Ben Berquam, your unashamed, unafraid political evangelist, exposing the left and mobilizing the right to stand in the Central Valley, across the state of California, and around the country. Christ, family, country. It's live. It's local. It's Frontline Radio.